Hey techies, welcome to Elephant Code. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You're watching a video from the PySpark playlist. So let's begin.
Welcome back. So today we will be checking how we can use row classes provided by the Spark SQL module to frame the entire data which we will be passing it as a parameter to the Spark context to create the data frame. So now this row class, I mean Max, what you can do is to give the name to each column in your data frame. So it is not used for defining the kind of data type or or kind of constraint and all those things. So so all those things are not possible using the row class constraint. Okay, it is just basically used to give the name to each field which are present in the in your data frame. Along with the name you can also give the value. Okay, so it is basically used to create a kind of flat rows. Okay, so now what are the steps which are involved in creating data frame with the help of this row class? So first thing is you need to import the row class from Spark SQL. Then you need to create the list of row class item, and then you need to create a kind of schema for those rows using the struct type. This is optional. Okay, this third step is optional. Okay, so in case if you want to create a kind of schema for your rows, then you can obviously create with the help of struct type, which we have already seen it, and which we will be doing it here as well. And then finally you can bind those list of rows plus struct type schema while creating the data frame using Spark context. Okay, so let us go back to the practical area. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me take a new file. Let me minimize everything and let me take one new file here. I'll say that row, oops, I'll say Python file. I'll name it something like row create row class for creating Spark data frame. Okay, so I name it like this. And what I can do, I can get this copied here so that I should be writing minimal line of code. So the first thing it says that we should be importing the row class from this PySpark module. So we have already included. We don't need this session. We have already created those session objects and everything inside this class. Okay, okay. Now the second thing it is saying that we need to construct the row. Okay, so to construct the row, what I can do. So I'm just writing self dot data using let's say so class equal to, so I'm creating a kind of list of rows. So what I can do, I'll say this row, row, okay, and then I'll say parenthesis, I'll say id equal to 1, let's say, comma, name equal to Vikram. Similarly, I'm creating one more row. I can copy paste this 2 3 4. Okay, so 2 3 and maybe 4. Okay, so I can give this as Sanjana. Here it is Harsha. So I can name this as Raj. Okay, so these are the data which I've created with the help of row. So row is accepting the column name and the column data. Column name and the column data. Okay, now what I will do, I'll create a kind of schema for this data. So what I can do, self dot schema, where I will be defining the data type. Okay, is equal to struct type. I'll say this, and then I'll say struct. Okay, now I'm defining the struct type. So struct field, I'll say id. My data type would be string type, uh, and I can hold the value null as well. It's just a dummy practice which we are doing. And my second column would be again struct field, and this is a name, and it is of string type, and I'll say this is also kind of nullable. Okay, so I can do one thing. I mean, instead of this, I can make it integer 1 2 3 2, and then it is kind of 4. Okay, and here I'll say it is of integer type. Okay, so this is done. Now what I will be doing, I'll be using this particular data while I'm creating the kind of data frame. So Spark context dot create data frame, and in the data I will be giving the giving the parameters as data using row class. Okay, so this will be passed, and for the schema, what I will do, schema, I'll pass this schema. Okay, I don't need all this thing. I'm returning the data. Okay, and yeah, I'll just name it get data from row. Okay, so I'll use this method name, and thereafter I'll run it. Okay, let us see. So this is quite simple. I mean, we just need to define define the data with the help of this row classes, and then we are trying to define the schema for this data, and then we are passing. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I think we did some mistake here. What it says, create data frame, struct type, schema dot struct type takes the position on. So we need to enclose this in the list. Okay, now I think it is fine. Okay, so here we can see we have received the data. Okay, so you have the ID column, you have the name column. ID column consists of all the data and name. Okay, so these two are already binded with our row, and we have the schema also define ID as integer, name as string. Okay, so hopefully you like this video. Now it is a kind of quiz time.
Elephant quiz of the day. The row class is only applicable for creating data frames from RDDs, not for other data sources. Is it true or is it false? Mention your answer in the comment section below. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe Elephant Code for future updates.